Alright everyone, I am here to give you a Family Guy review. It's been a very long time since I've said that. Let me check to see the last time I made one, because it's been a while. Let me just look it up real quick. Hold on. It's been 2 months. The last time I made one, it was actually the first episode. And it's called December 9th, and I made it on December 9th, 2014. I just been extremely busy with school and other things that I just haven't had time to really sit and watch and record the videos. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did for the movie reviews last week, except instead of just doing one movie review per day, I'm just gonna watch at least a ton of them and just review them one by one. I have no clue how many I'm gonna get through. I could get through like 2 seasons, or I could just get through none, but we'll see. Today I only feel like reviewing 3, just because I've been uploading a crap load of videos this week, and I just really don't feel like reviewing that many today. But maybe tomorrow I'll upload a crap load more. I do have to watch The Walking Dead is coming on tonight, so I have to sit and watch that and get my video on that. So it's not till like 9 o'clock, but I just only feel like reviewing 3 episodes. So let's talk about this episode. As you can tell from the bottom, the titles went down there, but I'll still say it anyways. Let me get my... So this is Season 1, Episode 2. It's called I Never Met the Dead Man. That's really what it's called. And it came out on April 11th, 1999. And this actually was a pretty good episode. I enjoyed it a lot. The episode starts out with Lewis is pointing out that Stewie Griffin's playing with his new Sesame Street phone. I actually do remember that show, Sesame Street. I watched it when I was like little, so it seemed like a good show to me, but it probably really wasn't. Now it's stupid though if you're a kid now and you watch it, because I hear they changed a lot of stuff about Sesame Street, but I'm not gonna really get into that. Stewie's talking on the phone, and he hears Ernie, and he's like, he's asking him. Stewie's like being really smart, and he's talking about how he wants to like destroy Sesame Street. He's gonna have an army go to Big Bird's nest, all of that stuff. And Stewie and Ernie, who was one of the characters on that show, was just asking him like a bunch of stupid questions. And one of the questions that he asked him was, "Can you count to 3?" So Stewie's like, "Of course I can." So he grabs one of his ray guns that he has, and he shoots the telephone and counts to 3. Well, he shoots it 3 times and counts to 3. And he's like, and I'm shooting at like a 5th grade level. I thought that was hilarious. So then it cuts to the theme song. Then it cuts to Peter, pretty much everyone watching TV. Peter, Brian, I don't remember if Chris was there or not. And Meg. I hate Meg. And Lewis is like, Meg is gonna have like a driving test, so she wants to go practice driving, and Peter's like, yeah, I don't know, I want to watch TV, and he's watching Star Trek. Now, I've never seen Star Trek before, so I don't really know what it's like, but I've heard of it. It shows like a clip from the show, and one of the characters, who is being played by William Shatner, is like moving really weird. Weird when he talks. And Peter's like, well, to be fair, Star Trek was here first. So it pretty much comes up with a lame excuse to put Star Trek over his daughter. Lewis is like, come on, you should spend time with the family, you know, instead of watching TV. You've been watching TV all day. And then Peter's like, well, that's what I use the commercials for. And I actually thought that was pretty hilarious. It's like, if I can't use the commercials for that, then what's the point of having them? Which is, I guess, sort of a good point. So then Meg says she really wants to learn how to drive. And Brian's like, I don't think that's a good idea. Because Peter had this bad experience when he was in, like, Texas or something. And he hit the Roadrunner. If you know what the Roadrunner is, everyone should. So Peter hits it, and then he's like, oh man, did I just hit that ostrich? And the wolf that usually chases the Roadrunner is like, no, just keep driving. That was funny. Then Peter ends up showing her how to drive. And the way he shows her how to drive, Meg, is he's showing her right. You know, you always have to keep your eyes on the road. And then they come to a stop sign, and he's like, okay, when you see the person right next to you, you have to challenge them to a race. Normally, because that's what he says, normally you race them. So then he, like, flips his hat like he's saying hi to her. And he's like, oh, now this guy's asking for it. So they race, and the guy jumps off the horse because he was in, like, one of those horse-drawn carriages. And the whole carriage and horse falls, and the horse and carriage both blow up. It was actually pretty funny. And Peter's like, you did a good job, but you forgot to flip them off, which I thought was funny. So then they come home, and Lewis is like, wow, you did a good job learning how to drive. That was a quick lesson. And Peter's like, well, she knows everything she needs to learn, and I gotta watch my show. He watches, like, this show that's like a cop show, except the cops only go after the attractive people. And he was flirting with her, saying you should be arrested for not having my number, and for being too gorgeous. And behind him there's, like, a bunch of criminal stuff going on, like people have, like, cocaine, and there's people, like, getting into a shooting fight, so he wasn't really paying attention. I thought that was funny. And then so then Meg's at the road test, getting her driver's gonna go get a road test. And Peter's like, we gotta be home before the new reality show. It's called, like, it's this show where I think it's called Slow Kids, Fast Animals. It's this show where the kids walk really slow, and the tiger is, like, running behind them. I thought that was funny, and the kid's like a fat ass. And Meg says that this is important to her. She's got to pass her driver's test, because then she'll pretty much be like, and she said a name. I don't remember the name. Let me see if I can look it up. I don't know. It doesn't say the name of the person, but she's like, she's like, I'll be like this person, like some sort of celebrity that's gonna have to adopt a kid and all that. So then she gets into a driving test, and she uses all of the techniques that her father taught her that are all wrong. And she out of all people to challenge her the race, she challenges the cops. And the police officer pulls her over, and he's like, are you gonna pet me down for not flipping you off? Flipping them off. So then Meg's upset she didn't get her license. And Peter's like, not everything turns out like you expected. And then it shows a flashback of when Meg was born, and the doctor's like, it's a girl. And Peter has all this sports stuff because he thinks it was going to be a boy. He's like, can you check again? So I thought it was pretty funny. So then Peter is missing his TV show about the fat kids, slow animals. So as he's distracted, he crashes into the cable satellite settings that receive the cable. And everyone gets pissed at him, and he's like, hey, look, it's Bigfoot. It's like, yeah, this is about you right now. So then he blames Meg for it, pretty much says that she was shot in Vietnam and she was just learning how to drive. So they all feel bad for her. So Meg's upset that Peter blamed her for it, But Peter's like, well, let's play a game. If you take the fall for me, I'll buy you a convertible when you get licensed. So he bribes her, and yeah, that was funny. So Meg comes home and tells everybody about it, and Peter's like, it's not taking the fall if you keep telling everybody about it. So then forgot to mention that Stewie has a problem with broccoli. His mom Lewis wanted him to eat his vegetables, and he wouldn't eat them. He says, just because you don't like it doesn't mean you can kill it or something. She says something around that effect. So Stewie makes up this plan that he's going to kill it. He makes this weather machine that is because broccoli dies when it gets cold. So he's going to make this weather machine to kill the broccoli. I think all the vegetables, but mainly broccoli is the one he has a problem with. And Peter brings home the satellite cable that, because he still had it in the back of his car. And he's like, finally, some use to me. And as they're talking, Stewie grabs the device in his, like, mini car. And the weather machine's made out of, like, the thing where it spins, the little toy. And it's like you can play all the sound animals. I forget what it's called. But Chris is worried that he's not gonna be able to survive without TV. So Peter's like, don't worry, everyone can survive without TV. And Brian doesn't think he can, and he's like, I'm not some simpleton. I can survive without the TV. So then Peter is talking on the phone, trying to find out what's going on one of the TV shows, but it says, oh, it's pretty much like watching it on the radio. If I can't see it. It says it's not, it's not as fun if you don't see it. So then, at Meg's school, they were supposed to watch some sort of film, but they can't because of the cable. So they're going to have a surprise test, and everyone looks pissed at Meg, even the teacher. And Meg's like, I need to come clean. And it was like narration about what Meg was thinking, and it was a guy that was actually saying it, not a girl. That was funny. So she still takes the fall, so they all throw stuff at her. Even like they throw paper, but someone tried to throw like a beer bottle at her. So then Peter's just losing it without the TV. He's upset because he hasn't seen like a TV show in like a week. And Brian's like, you need to find other things to do. Meg has her driving, Chris has her video games. Well, Chris has his video games, and Lewis has something going on, Lewis, too. And he's like, everyone has something going on. He's just not finding another hobby to take time of it. And he makes some sort of funny line at the end. And it showed a clip, because he hadn't watched Scooby-Doo in a while, and it shows a clip of that. So then he has a nightmare. It's pretty much like the Wizard of Oz scene when they had the tornado going on. He has that nightmare about that, and it shows all the TV shows that that he likes. So he wakes up and he's trying to, and the TV still doesn't work. And Lewis gets worried about Peter because and Stewie still wants to conquer the vegetables because Lewis tells Stewie that he needs to eat his vegetables, but he still wants to conquer them. And he might end Lewis. So then Brian's like, he'll get over it. He'll find something to distract him from it. So Peter's just going insane because he hasn't watched TV. So he has like this. I'll show you a little bit about. It's on the thumbnail, but I'll show you a little bit about what I'm talking about. He has this like a little, like he made like a paper mache where he looked like he watching TV, and every time he walks somewhere, he acts like it's a TV show. He even shows Quagmire, one of his friends. Glenn Quagmire is his name, and he's gonna go make money somehow. So Lewis gets worried and tells Brian to watch Stewie, and then he looks at him and says, "Don't move." And Stewie starts moving around and he falls. So then Peter goes to the school and he sees all the TV shows. And he's like, it was like some sort of TV show that was around the 90s time, but I didn't watch it because I was only like probably 3 years old. and he signs Meg, and Meg tells everyone that Peter's the one that let the TV let the cable out. So everyone's gonna be Peter, and Louis and Chris pop up, and Louis says, Peter, you need to come home. You're going crazy. So then he's like, someone's about to get, and Peter's like, someone's about to get beaten. So let's see. So then Louis makes the speech about everyone always revolved around cable, but now that Peter took it out, they can enjoy the finer things in life, like, you know, the world, and do all the things you weren't able to do. So everyone agrees. And then Peter realizes that she was right. She did like TV, took over the light, and it needs to appreciate the finer things in life. And Louis is like, yeah, and makes a reference that they're going to have sex. But then Peter thought that she was going to kill the kids and harness their organs or something. It was pretty fucked up that he said that. So then they have sex, and then Peter is like, we're going to go experience the world. We're not going to, I realized that TV took over my life, and we're going to experience the world. So then shows this montage of them fishing, and they catch like the lake monster. It shows of them looking at the clouds, and Brian sees like the dog signal, like the Batman signal, but it's the dog signal instead. What else happens? I don't remember the other. Oh, and then they have like a picnic, and Peter's like throwing down the picnic mat, and it's like red. So he's going like this, like he's attracting a bull, and the bull gores him. And then they're all exhausted because they're sick because they're living their lives. And Louis is like, "Well, your father's just trying to spend time with his family or kill us." So then the news comes on the air, so the cable's back, and the news has been making this joke how they're gonna say anything that they want to say, and no one can see it. So they just pretty much say anything, and he was gonna give Tom Tucker was gonna give like his co-host a spanking, and they're on the air, and his wife probably saw it, so he's like, oh crap. So Peter doesn't want to go back to TV because he feels like it took over his life, and he wants to live life to the fullest. So William Shatner pops up, and he's like, I was going to make this, and he's still talking, like he still moves while he talks. I was going to make this speech about how TV brings families together. And then he says, why don't you come hang out with me? So they do. They go to like this German festival, and one of the Germans like attacks the Scottish because he was selling Scottish sausage in German. He was takes credit for it. So William Shatner realizes, why don't you want to watch TV? It's better than living life to the fullest. So then they're gonna run without their shoes on, like just run home. They have their clothes on, just no shoes. And William Shatner realizes he's right. And Louis was giving Meg a driving lesson, and Stewie set up his weather machine, and the weather just really starts coming down so bad that it knocks Stewie off the roof. And luckily, though, he landed on the trampoline, so he didn't really get hurt too bad. And Meg can't see, so she runs over William Shatner, kills him, and runs over Peter. So he gets put in a body cast. He's like, I'm going to live my life to the fullest after I get out of here. So then Louis says, oh man, we've lost him. So then so they put the TV on, and Peter ends up watching it. So then Louis talks about how Peter made them realize it doesn't matter what you do as long as you do it with your family. And then Peter's like, okay, the show's on, so let's stop watching. So that was it. And then the episode ends when Louis tries to feed Stewie broccoli again. She's like, and Stewie was like, you're right. Broccoli is good for me. And he pretends to eat it, and he dumps it on Brian's plate as he's eating it. And Brian puts it back on his plate, and he's like, nice try. So that was funny. So as for this episode, I thought it was a really funny and good episode. Yeah, just pretty much how it was. If you have a Netflix, it's definitely on there, so you can definitely check it out. And I'll be back to do another review of Family Guy, and after I watch the next one. And you can click right here to subscribe if you want.